Two petitions were filed today before the Supreme Court, urging the justices to declare as unconstitutional and nullify the peace agreements between the government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. Joyce Balancho tells us why.
The Supreme Court received two separate petitions today which seek to nullify the peace agreement between the government and the MILF. The petition filed by PhilConsa, or the Philippine Constitution Association, the court is being asked to declare as unconstitutional the Framework Agreement on the Bangsamoro and the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro. According to PhilConsa, the conduct of the peace process itself is flawed because the government negotiated only with the MILF, contrary to the Executive Order 125, which says that all groups such as the MNLF and the Lumads should be part of the negotiation. The group said the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao could not simply be abolished and be replaced with the proposed Bangsamoro. They added that the current Congress has no authority to establish a new autonomous region because such mandate is given only to the first Congress following the ratification of the 1987 Constitution.
You cannot just establish the Bangsamoro by just a law because you have to amend the Constitution. Then sinasabi nila that the Bangsamoro shall replace the ARMM. You cannot just do that with the law because yung ARRM is a provision of the Constitution.
PhilConsa wants the court to issue a temporary restraining order to stop the implementation of the agreements between the government and the MILF. In the separate petition, former Negros Oriental Congressman Jacinto Paras wants the peace agreement and all its annexes invalidated. The former lawmaker said affected sectors were not consulted, which is in direct contrast to the very right guaranteed by the Constitution.
This was a hearing conducted in the Senate. The local government unit says they were not aware that this is gonna be happening. The Lumads, the indigenous people, who are supposed to be the major stakeholders here, they're not consulted, according to Senator Marcos.
He said it is a big mistake that under Section 4, Article 7 of the Framework Agreement, the government has given a guarantee to amend the Constitution just to accommodate the terms of the agreement. The creation of the Bangsamoro territory is likewise unconstitutional because it would mean the creation of separate state or sub-state. He added that the proposed Bangsamoro shares some qualities with the MOA-AD, or the Memorandum of Agreement on Ancestral Domain, which the Supreme Court nullified in 2008. Only some terms are changed from the failed agreement. But Paras said the Bangsamoro is even worse because it allows a certain area to join the Bangsamoro anytime through a petition of just 10% of its population.
Mas malala in the sense that nag-expand yung mga authority ng MILF. Dati wala yung opt-in provision na yung isang barangay o isang bayan dahil lang sa 10% na number of people, pwede nang maging member sila ng Bangsamoro.
The former lawmaker also said the provisions of the peace agreement should not be implemented yet, such as the decommissioning of MILF fighters. He said that all provisions of the agreement should be included in the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law. Meanwhile, Malacañang says it is ready to defend the legality of both agreements.
It's quite interesting because we signed the FAB close to 2 years ago, and then the CAB a year ago, March 17 po yan, kung tama ang aking alala. And so far, there's no opposition when both documents were signed. And perhaps it is born out of the discussions that we are having on the BBL as we speak, but we are prepared to answer should the Supreme Court require government to put forth its side on the CAB and on the FAB.
Joyce Balancho reporting for YN News.